My name is Jason Baptista. I'm going to be speaking about the new revised structure, specifically my temporary position as the training and education representative. I'm going to start by saying that one of my goals, I'm going to be going through all my goals here, but one of my goals is to work myself out of a job. I want to go back into the field, right? And I also don't want anybody to think that I'm any different than any one of you as members, right? Because any one of you can step into this role. We're all interchangeable, or any of the roles temporarily. And I hope that after my presentation, you'll feel empowered to contribute your time into a role in the future if they come available. I'm going to just introduce myself. So this is the old JAC rules and guidelines. I signed this in 2010 when I joined the Canadian Union of Skilled Workers. So now this is it says the AGC on top, but when I signed it, it was the JAC. Again, my name is Jason Baptista. I joined CUSW in 2010 as a second-term apprentice. I was originally with the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I'm a member of the Southwest Unit. So I was dispatched, my first call, if you will, I was dispatched to Hydro 1 in 2010, and I was there until September of last year in 2017. I'm currently the chair of the Southwest Unit, whether that was elected formally or acclaimed recently, and enjoy doing that. I was also a former elected workplace representative in the role of steward for Hydro 1 in the Southwest, and crew health and safety rep as well. The best way that I can explain my position is by going through the motions that I went through to understand what my position is as well, my temporary position is. So I guess the best place to start is the call for participation. This was put out last year, sent to all the members, and basically they talk about dismantling, as Joe mentioned earlier, they talk about dismantling the traditional command structure that was built around the president, and the way I understand that was in the infancy of our organization that was the way it needed to be. But as you can see that this organization is not a baby anymore. Now it's a teenager and needs to move out of the house. So we're going to the new structure. So here's the actual job description. It's got some key terms in it that I think that we need to be aware of to better understand the education and training rep position. So Joe read from this, so I won't trouble you with reading it again, but specific terms here are the knowledge worker, right? And the take the lead plan for each member, right? And supporting the National Training and Education Committee to bring those programs to life and have them as like a fire and forget heat-seeking missile that just press the button and it goes. So now the knowledge worker concept, the way I understand it, was born from the knowledge worker project, and this is a infographic from that document. The project objectives are as follows. The knowledge worker project is to research the deliverables for training that will plan a path for us, the CUSW member, to become the knowledge worker in the emerging market. So ultimately, the goal, this was a project that was to identify how we're going to interact with the market in the 21st century economy. What do our members need for, and this is an example I'm going to use, the Pick Your Adventure, which is available to our members, right? So outside of your traditional role right now in the workplace, how can we help you expand your skill sets? How can we make you more, help provide a path to make you more employable in the 21st century workplace? And that path is actually the LEAD plan. So what is the Take the Lead plan? It's actually an acronym. The acronym stands for L, learning, which is identify your personal and professional skills, abilities, and interests, strengths, as well as areas you want to develop. Employability, build your personal capacity to respond to the changes in the marketplace by identifying the resources and support you require. A is for achievement, create a clear picture of personal success and what it will take to get you there. And finally, D, development, develop an action plan for moving towards your personal vision. So part of my role, my temporary role, is to help bring those to life and to work with the Training and Education Committee to make those available to you, the member. So now that I know I've got my prints, right, now I need to figure out what my tools are. So what tools have been made available to me to help bring that to life? And the first one is the Training Trust. And I know Jack Reed's going to be speaking about the Training Trust, so I won't go too far into that. But this provides us, this is a tool for us to provide professional development to the members through the 30 cents an hour contributed. This also gives us the language for participation agreements with the employers, where the stakeholders in the workplace, being us, the member, and the employers, get to sit down and plan for the future, giving the workplace member the flexibility to adapt to that new economy. And as well as the Training Trust Fund, you can chase grant money. It's a very, very good tool that we can use pre-tax dollars to help improve the employability of our members, as well as stakeholders in the workplace improve the competitiveness of our employer partners. Next we have, and this is funny because I actually I typed into Google pictures, service provider union, and this is one of the pictures that came up, and it's a destructive cult structure. But this is essentially what your traditional kind of service provider union looks like, where we kind of all look above and wait for our commands from above. Now, when I saw this, I was thinking, is this what we need to be line abreast with the emerging economy that's racing into the future? I wouldn't put this as a tire on my racing car to get there. What I'd prefer to use is, and I'm going to wax this on for you, the new structure. All right, I did that myself. Just a quick note on the new structure, because I know Joe got into it, but to me personally, this structure puts me at arm's length with all the members, right? Whether those members are in the National Executive Board, whether it's recruitment and referral, Chris Scotta, whether that's SmartNet developments, whether that's growth, business and development, I am at arm's distance from everybody. In a traditional rank and file structure, everything has to go up the chain of command before it can come back down in whatever parallel department you're talking about, right? So in the 21st century marketplace, this just makes us more adaptable to that marketplace, because our communication is lightning fast, because I can just go right to that person and talk to them with my need. The member can come right to me and ask me a question. If that question doesn't belong in my receptacle, then I'm also equipped to take them to the person or refer them to the person who can best answer that question, or the people rather, because no one person makes decisions around here. So I really like this structure, and it's also given me the self-confidence to take this role on, because like Chris said, I'm just an electrician too, and not a good one at that, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But having a structure like this makes me, you, anybody in this room employable in this position or any of the positions, temporary positions that we have in the future, because we can talk to any of these people. So that's a really important feature. So I'll quickly just go over our online assets, which is our website, which has the innovation station. It's got all kinds, like hyperlinks to the YouTube channel. Basically, your one-stop shop to get any of the information that you need, whether it's workplace information, unit level information, national committee level information. It's all there. We also have the YouTube site that has a ton of videos that are just very short, very brief, but they get the message across, and they talk about all kinds of different topics. Then we have Alliance Learning, which is, they're going to have a presentation tomorrow. As an online asset, it gives us the ability to reach our members across Canada, right, in the comfort of your own home. So that's way better than waking up early in the morning and going to the Ramada Inn, right? So, and last but not least, the Facebook learning community. And I know this has kind of been a sticky point with some of the members, but I just want to remind everybody that in our initial thinking, this is a place where a conversation can live, right? And it can live anytime, and it can be accessed anytime. So I could post a question, and I immediately have access to all leadership, all CUSW members with leadership positions that can help me answer my question. Right, so it's not a place, and we talked about this yesterday about the chainsaw, right? It has two uses, right? I could either cut down trees with it, or I can chase people with it, right? It's a tool, right? And the way we use it dictates how that tool is perceived, right? So we can use this as a communication medium, so that we can leverage all our people in this organization that have, it's like source, instead of group funding, group thinking, group information, source information. You have everybody in our membership, potentially, that has access to this Facebook site, our own site, page, and we have a communication with one another that lives forever, right? That wall lives forever, and we can always refer back to it. So I think it's good. So, of course, the Constitution, right? We use the Constitution it's like my Jiminy Cricket, right? And it helps me make the decisions through kind of looking at our values and beliefs, right? When I have to think about something, I have to refer to my values and beliefs, and of course, Article 2, which Ange was talking about, and is very important, and I really like this campaign that they put out to the workplace. So what's cooking at the workplace level? We've got workplace development, and we'll be speaking on that a bit tomorrow with Alliance Learning, but there is workplace rep development that already exists and coming down the pipe to develop the skills, not only of what exists right now, our negotiating committees, but our health and safety reps, our stewards, and we're taking all this content from our seasoned veterans from the field and turning it into something beautiful. As well as the participation agreements between the workplace members and the employers, sitting down with the stakeholders again and figuring out how we're going to move forward, how we're going to adapt to the laser-quick economy that's changing every day. And the employer orientation, which is like the Take the Lead program. It'll be something for the employer, right? Because we don't only want to surround ourselves with good members that share our values and beliefs, but our partners, we'd hope that they share our values and beliefs. So that being said, going to the national committee level, here's what's cooking. Top to bottom committee support. You'll notice that when the committees were struck late last year, we had been offering online training courses. Just not as much training, but to showcase kind of the process of starting up a new committee, and to give access to all the communication tools that we've found that have made things so much easier, like your Telegram, like your Zoom room meetings, and doodle polls, right? That sounds weird, but when I found out what a doodle poll was, when you're trying to organize a meeting, that's incredible, right? When you're trying, it's like it takes herding cats and it gives you a net, right? So it's great. And that's also the research and development of new communication tools. So trying to access those, like the Facebook learning community, and see what the next tool is that can make our big world a little bit smaller so we can talk to each other better. Maintenance and expansion of current online assets, right? We're always constantly changing, we're always upgrading and identifying the needs for the future. So now this kind of segues into my next presentation because we're going to be talking about what's cooking at the unit level. And I mentioned earlier I'm a unit chair for the Southwest, and I've taken it upon myself to turn the Southwest into a bit of a project and try to figure out different ways of engaging my membership in the Southwest. But some of the other things that we have cooking at the unit level is the unit blueprint. A lot of us in our area that are part of established units that have been around for a while, we forget that I've always been the benefactor of having the Niagara-Hamilton unit very close by. I started in their area of responsibility, and I've always had the mentorship, and I've always had a role model to kind of build my unit off of, and people to talk to at Niagara-Hamilton and other, Central and all the units around. But when you're thinking about a new unit opening up in Nunavut, right? They're not going to have access to all the people that we have, all the human resources that we have, right? So putting together a blueprint for a potential new unit when they come on the scene to help them identify or help them facilitate hybrid meetings, which increases our effectiveness, our communication to the membership, because we can have face-to-face meetings as well as broadcasting it online for our members that might be on the road, right? Because a lot of our membership right now travels for work. So, and I had mentioned before the research and development of new communication strategy. I'm slowly but surely teaching myself how to podcast so that I could have a podcast agenda broadcast for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, so the member does not have to read my lengthy emails. Right now they can listen to the agenda on the drive to work. There are some obstacles in making that a reality, like where's that going to live? But I'm slowly answering those questions. I think that's my cue almost to get the heck out of here. And then obviously I was talking about earlier the Southwest Unit Project, which is my baby, and I feel gives me the opportunity to try new things, right? Because like Joe had mentioned earlier, this is very new. So I don't have a print to go off of. I don't have a picture of something that had been built before. So I get the opportunity, the unique opportunity to try new things and be crazy. So that being said, I appreciate your patience with my paperwork issue here, but I will be taking questions at lunch, apparently, and I appreciate your laser focus and everybody being very kind and keeping your ears open. So thank you very much.